Muy buenas noches. A todos los presentes, por favor, tomar asiento, que en minutos más comienza este acto honorífico de doctor Honoris Causa. Recomendamos a todos los presentes tomar asiento y mantener los celulares en silencio, de preferencia apagados. Tengan todos ustedes muy buenas noches. Bienvenidos a la Universidad de Aquino, Bolivia. La UDABOL es una institución que valora, apoya y reconoce los logros científicos y académicos de ciudadanos notables a nivel nacional e internacional. En mérito a sus contribuciones y al bienestar del ser humano y la sociedad, a través de sus aportes intelectuales de desarrollo estructural, beneficio y progreso al país. En este sentido, la Universidad de Aquino, Bolivia, con la venia de todas sus autoridades ilustrísimas de esta institución, dan inicio a la sesión académica extraordinaria de investidura de grados Doctor Honoris Causa. Para dar inicio, invitamos al excelentísimo presidente de la Fundación UDABOL, el doctor Martín Dockweiler Cárdenas, acompañado de su invitado especial, el doctor Shafid Ahmed. Invitamos también al magnífico rector de la Universidad de Aquino, Bolivia, el ingeniero Marcelo Vázquez Lema, acompañado de la ilustrísima vicerrectora regional de UDABOL, la arquitecta Claudia Camacho Palacios. Invitamos también al ilustrísimo jefe de carrera de medicina, el doctor Gilberto Galloso. Recibimos también esta tarde a nuestros distinguidos invitados, el doctor Vijendra Patel y el doctor Plamen Simeonov Rusev. Pedimos a los presentes ponerse de pie para entonar las sagradas notas del himno nacional. Pueden tomar asiento. Invitamos al excelentísimo presidente de la Fundación Udabol, el doctor Martín Dockweiler Cárdenas, a dar las palabras de bienvenida.
Distinguidas autoridades de la Universidad de Aquino, Bolivia, distinguidísimo doctor Honoris Causa de esta institución y futuro y fundador del Hospital Shafi Ahmed Martín Dockweiler, Hospital Universitario de la Udabol, Shafi Ahmed, distinguidísimo doctor Plamen Simeon Rusev, distinguidísimo doctor Vihendra Pratap Patel, invitados especiales, cuerpo consular, saludo a nuestro rector de la Universidad de Cusco, que hoy día nos acompaña y que tuve el honor de haber sido honrado con el doctorado Honoris Causa. Un saludo al rector. Queridas alumnas, queridos alumnos, es un honor para la familia tomista contar en nuestro claustro universitario con la presencia de 3 grandes científicos. Hoy es un día histórico que hay que marcar en esta institución, en esta alma mater. Tenemos en la testera al doctor Shafi Ahmed, promotor a nivel global de la medicina exponencial, la cual permite, a través del uso de la tecnología y la virtualidad, dar acceso a la capacitación de profesionales médicos en procesos quirúrgicos, democratizando el entrenamiento médico, democratizando la salud, democratizando la educación a nivel mundial. Un científico innovador, emprendedor, pionero, reconocido a nivel internacional, global, reconocido como nuestro doctor Honoris Causa, y además parte de nuestra familia. El doctor Shafi Ahmed tomó una decisión importante en su vida y dijo que si su misión es democratizar la salud, democratizar la educación, se animó a apostar por Bolivia. Esto es algo inédito. Un científico que trabaja en Londres, en el Hospital Barts, en el Royal Hospital of London, que no necesita de estar dando tanta vuelta, pero el doctor Shafi Ahmed está en todo el mundo y decidió poner raíces acá en Bolivia. Decidió invertir y hoy por hoy es nuestro socio estratégico en el hospital. Hoy por hoy es nuestro director, nuestro CEO del hospital Shafi Ahmed, Martín Dockweiler. Y bueno, son palabras de agradecimiento a un amigo, a un hermano, my brother, my dear brother. We're here today with you to say that we're grateful and it's so important for you to be our CEO in the hospital. It's going to be very important for Bolivia, for the region, and we're grateful, my friend, my brother. El doctor Plamen Rusev, que nos acompaña, es reconocido como el hombre milagro, también un científico, un emprendedor, es el fundador y nada más y nada menos que el presidente ejecutivo de Webit Foundation. ¿Qué es la Webit Foundation? Webit Foundation logra reunir más de 100 países en un evento anual que se lleva a cabo en Bulgaria, en Sofía. ¿Y quién hace esta magia donde 7,000 mentes, 7,000 científicos se reúnen de todo el mundo, donde se premia a los emprendedores, donde se hace ciencia y tecnología? Y está acá, sentado a nuestro lado. Hoy recibirá el doctorado Honoris Causa, que para nosotros es un honor otorgarlo y que representa a una de las comunidades mundiales más grandes de los líderes académicos, políticos, empresariales. Además de eso, el doctor Rusev es presidente ejecutivo de Blockchain Governance Forum, una organización sin fines de lucro que reúne a responsables políticos del mundo académico y la sociedad civil, dedicada a lograr y discutir asuntos, como decía, de orden público, político, relacionados con lo que es el blockchain, la cadena. El doctor Patel, que nos acompaña hoy día, doctor Patel, otro científico reconocido mundialmente, conferencista internacional, es director del programa de maestría científica en habilidades quirúrgicas del Bard Cancer Institute. ¿Qué es el Bard Cancer Institute? Es una de las instituciones más famosas del mundo. Es un promotor reconocido e innovador en lo que implica la simulación y el uso de tecnologías para el potenciamiento de las habilidades quirúrgicas, y ha sido el principal impulsor del Centro de Simulación Quirúrgica en realidad virtual del Queen Mary Hospital, cuyas investigaciones han provisto importantes aportes en el estudio de la adquisición de habilidades quirúrgicas a través de la simulación. Yo he pedido que cada uno de ustedes en este auditorio reciba un ejemplar de un estudio que se hizo con gente de la UDABOL, con el doctor Galloso en este caso, y que es un aporte mundial. Ustedes van a leer, los alumnos que están para ser médicos, algunos, los médicos, los catedráticos que nos acompañan, van a poder ver la calidad de investigación de nuestro querido doctor Patel. La Universidad de Aquino, Bolivia, se forja en base a la filosofía del gran doctor angélico de la Iglesia, Santo Tomás de Aquino. Santo Tomás es un faro y no un lindero, mas la luz es el faro es tan clara que al iluminar con tanta intensidad el conocimiento lo transforma en sabiduría. La excelencia y la ciencia deben unirse, fundirse en la mente y el corazón de los investigadores. La razón y la fe deben ser tributo para el beneficio del ser humano, que se cristalice en propuestas de alto impacto, donde la ciencia y la filosofía, en plena armonía, impulsen a irradiar la luz divina. La filosofía tomista nos da las pautas para alcanzar el sueño de todo ser humano, que es lograr equilibrar la fe y la razón para la construcción del conocimiento. El conocimiento por sí solo no es suficiente, pero tendrá que usar como herramienta fundamental que nos conduzca y nos acerque al logro de la sabiduría. Solo así se podrá fortalecer nuestra vocación de servicio y al mismo tiempo ser cada día más humildes para aportar con pertinencia y eficiencia en las soluciones que demanda la sociedad. Dar respuestas viables desde el ejercicio de investigación, docencia y extensión en los diferentes ámbitos que la población de nuestras regiones demandan con urgencia. Los retos de la actualidad demandan que elijamos quiénes queremos ser y qué decidimos hacer para que nuestros seres queridos tengan las mejores oportunidades posibles. Para nosotros, los tomistas, que buscamos ser trascendentes, constructivos y significativos, el conjugar en un mismo crisol razón y fe, ciencia y filosofía, nos llena de regocijo distinguir con nuestro más importante honor a estos dos grandes científicos, porque comprendemos como una obligación el reconocimiento a quienes dedican su vida a la docencia, la investigación y el desarrollo tecnológico con excelencia, porque ellos son modelos para la comunidad universitaria, para nuestra sociedad en su conjunto. Por este motivo, nos llena de orgullo incluir a estos dos meritorios profesionales a nuestro selecto grupo de doctores Honoris Causa. A nombre de la Universidad de Aquino, Bolivia, felicito a los doctores Vihendra Pratap Patel y Plamen Simon Rusev por su trayectoria y aportes a la sociedad, y agradezco a nuestros meritorios doctores Honoris Causa por aceptar nuestra invitación a Bolivia para ser parte de esta importante institución, de este claustro universitario, y que a partir de ahora son, como decíamos esta mañana, parte de la familia. We're family now. Muchas gracias, que Dios los bendiga. Procederé a investir, al honor de investir como doctores honoris causa. Muchas gracias.
Realmente son profesionales, un honor tener en la testera de la Universidad de Aquino, Bolivia, profesionales de tal nivel, como lo mencionaba el doctor Martín Dockweiler, quien investirá en este momento, a quien invitamos a pasar al frente, al doctor Vijendra Pratap Patel. El excelentísimo presidente de la Fundación Udabol, el doctor Martín Dockweiler Cárdenas, investe en este momento al doctor Vijendra Pratap Patel con el grado de doctor Honoris Causa. A continuación, invitamos al flamante doctor honoris causa, el doctor Vijendra Pratap Patel, a dar unas palabras de agradecimiento.
Good evening, Mr. President, Vice President, Rector, and the Dean. Thank you very much for giving me this honor. It's an absolute privilege to be here. And thank you, Dr. Shafi Ahmed, for bringing me here to Bolivia. Speak to the microphone, nobody hears it. I want to share some of my experience with you. And as part of the family, just get to know each other better. In the next few minutes, I'll just talk you through what I've been doing as a scientist, as a surgeon, and what experience I bring in to Udabol and Bolivia. I work in Royal London Hospital. This blue building is the Royal London Hospital. based in central London. And the next building over there that you see is quite a historic building. That's our old university campus, Queen Mary University of London. I want to talk about my vision and about my experience and a bit about technology, simulation, and what we do. There are a number of problems facing us, and I've just listed a few over here, which includes shortage of healthcare workforce, higher education deficit, and these are global problems. Cost of training, duration of training a doctor, and how we can improve patient safety and care, learning from other industry such as aerospace, nuclear industry, etc. And finally, I'll touch upon technology-enhanced education and how we can improve education using new technology. Universal truth. This was a document published by WHO. There is no health without a workforce. If you look at the...
Si vemos. Si vemos.
Sorry?
Oh, it's okay, sorry.
Is it okay? You can hear me? So there's no health without a workforce. There's a world shortage of healthcare workers. It's predicted by 2035 there'll be 13 million shortage. This affects both developing country and developed world. For developing country, it is access to the healthcare, and for developed countries, it's the cost as a result of having shortage in this healthcare workforce. Apart from healthcare, if we look at higher education in general, there's a UNESCO report which states by 2025, globally, there's going to be a deficit of more than 100 million university seats. An emerging economy are going to be affected more because of the deficit, both in healthcare and higher education. Around 30% of the global higher education is provided in a private sector. Even though this is quite high, we need more private universities to bridge this deficit. If you look at the cost of training a doctor, it's very high. In UK, it costs around $230,000. In USA, it's $280,000. It takes very long to train a doctor. 5 years of medical school, another 5 years of residency, and if you specialize and do research, get an additional degree, it all adds up. To become a surgeon in UK, it took me around 15 years. In short, higher education is failing millions of us. Potential students cannot get access to higher education because of multiple factors. It could be cost, cultural issues, or not having enough seats. Education should be a citizen's right, and it should not be just a privilege for few. There are several issues that affect the healthcare. I won't go into details of that. But the healthcare is swamped, and we need to look forward. how we can change, how we can improve things, how we can globalize education, have global transfer of surgical skills, medical skills, and how we can fast track this training to bridge the gap and the deficit. We need to think differently. I believe we need to change the DNA of the healthcare. Doctors, especially surgeons, are very autonomous, competitive, and there's quite a hierarchy in any surgical department. Selection in medical school is just based on your grades in the school, whereas we want doctors to be communicative, creative, with high emotional intelligence and not just intellectual. People who can work in team, who can adapt and change with technology. There are many emerging roles of healthcare providers apart from being a doctor. In UK, a lot of the specialists are not medically qualified, providing healthcare service. To bridge the deficit in the workforce in the healthcare, we have to look at new and innovative ways for providing service to our population. Our vision should be a healthcare, a system which is available round the clock, accessible to each and every individual, every citizen, every person on this planet. It's affordable and it is of high quality. It does not matter where you go or which country you live in. Everybody has a right to a good healthcare system. With that background, I want to talk about how we can address some of these problems of higher education deficit in workforce, cost and duration of training. How we can use technology and simulation to make changes, to improve patient care and safety and quality of training. Back in 2006, in UK, a Department of Health published a report called Good Doctor, Safer Patient. They looked at 4 high-risk industry, which is surgeons, airline pilots, nuclear power engineers, and offshore oil rig engineers. Analyzing these industry, and why did the government choose? Because when you make mistakes in this industry, it costs life and people die. And the reason we looked at this report is to see how is simulation used in other industries. And we were surprised that the pilot has to have simulation training and assessment every 6 months. To maintain the license to fly, you have to go through a simulation exam every year. This is each and every pilot in the world, no matter where you are flying, what airlines you are flying. Similarly, a nuclear power unit engineer and engineers working on oil rigs have simulation training and assessment. But if you look at doctors or healthcare providers, once you become a doctor, there's very little check for the rest of your career in terms of continuous education and assessment and certification. So in UK, the government felt this was not quite right. There were some high-profile cases where mistakes made by doctors resulted in a lot of morbidity and mortality. And the recommendation that was put forward after an extensive review from this document was that simulation should be embedded and should be linked to clinical practice. If you look at, here's an example of aerospace simulation. About 40, 50 years ago, if you wanted to become a pilot, you would get ground training, and then you are straight away airborne. But now, from ground training, you cannot jump into the plane to fly a plane. There's a bridge in the middle, which is simulation, and there's a bridge after you fly to maintain your license, which is again simulation for training and assessment. The reason is there are very clear benefits of simulation. With technology, it is possible to have very, very realistic, life-size, lifelike training and experience. You could be immersed in that exercise, whether it's like flying a plane or doing an operation. It provides a very safe environment where a student can learn and develop skills in a very controlled environment with high feedback, can make mistakes, learn from mistakes, and reduce your learning curve. It is cost effective. You've probably seen this, the fourth industrial revolution, and I'm sure you'll hear a bit more in Dr. Shafi Ahmed's presentation later on. I'm not going to go into the details of the new technologies which are emerging worldwide. But again, looking at what the government, what the policymakers are doing, in 2011, Department of Health looked at technology-enhanced education in UK. And evaluating the available technology at the time, they came up with this recommendation to make the best use of technology for education and improving patient care. That was the conclusion. So there's clearly a need that is driving for technology-enhanced education via simulation. And this is clearly going to benefit our agenda of globalizing education and training and global transfer of skills. And fast track any form of training, whether it is aerospace or whether it's medical training. With that in mind, I decided, how do we make a change? How can we break the rules and the boundaries? We have to think what we want and then create that. Otherwise, we can never make a change, and you are trapped in the same wheel going round and round. So I decided immersive learning is what is it that we want to learn and how is it that we want to learn or teach. There are three things, or there are three elements of any education system. One is knowledge and practical skill. What is always missed out is the attitude or the mental makeup of a student. If we can address all three and put it together into a curriculum and use the technology, I'm certain that we can speed up the process of learning and training. If you look at the learning pyramid, the old-fashioned lecture-based education, where you're just sitting and talking to somebody, your knowledge retention is very, very poor. If you want to fast-track the training, you need to empower the student at the bottom of the pyramid rather than at the top of the pyramid. So the message to all the students in this auditorium is the best way if you want to learn is to teach. Pick up a topic, discuss among yourselves, and make it a form of teaching. Immersive education and practicing and doing things is another high form of knowledge retention skill. This was a document recently published from University of Maryland in USA. And people recall information better when they've learned in a virtual reality environment. That's an example of an immersive experience. If you see something like that, you'll probably never forget. Similarly, if you include immersive education in your daily curriculum, it's something that you'll never forget. So with that in mind, I decided to sort of create what I call hybrid immersive learning curriculum. I've named this model after me, and this curriculum includes an online platform, which is e-learning, modules for learning using virtual reality, augmented reality. We also need hands-on training, especially for technical skills, being surgeon. And you also need live feedback or face-to-face learning, including patient contact and hospital-based learning. When you put all this together, you can develop a new high-impact curriculum which will have a much higher knowledge retention and a shorter duration of training. Medical Reality, created by Dr. Shafi Ahmed, offers one such platform where you can have completely interactive, immersive learning experience. So in other words, what I want to do and what I like to see is a complete shake-up of our education system using disruptive technology. We create an e-health ecosystem which is built on IT or tablet or any mobile device with intelligent software for learning. And this will certainly help us with our agenda of fast transfer of skill globally. Capacity is not going to be an issue. The global deficit can be bridged because everybody has iPhone, tablets, and internet access. Here's an example of laparoscopic surgery. I specialize in laparoscopic surgery. For those of you who don't know what is laparoscopic surgery, how do you acquire skills in laparoscopic surgery, a little bit of background. It's an operation which is performed in 2 dimensions using long instruments. It's a bit like eating with chopsticks. If you're not used to eating with chopsticks, you need to develop hand-eye coordination, depth perception. There's limited access. When you're doing the operation, you require bimanual skills. Now, all these skills take a long time to learn. To be proficient in operation, you need practice, you need repetition, and you need time. Now, if every new technology, you're going to increase your learning curve and the duration of training, then that is not going to benefit us and our agenda. However, using simulation, we can address this problem and we can reduce the learning curve. There are a variety of simulators available in different surgical fields. Some of them are listed over here. Here's an example of a laparoscopic simulator. You can see a student practicing, learning an operation to remove the gallbladder. The video that you see is made from a patient's live video. It is digitized and created for learning purpose. Here's another video I'd like to show, if it works. Can we just click on the screen? As you could see from that video, it's a really immersive experience if you're learning to do laparoscopic surgery as a novice in a simulation lab or a center. I did not have the opportunity or the pleasure of training. In my days, it used to be training on patients. If somebody came to you, if you had to go through an operation and said that you're the junior doctor, he'll be doing it for the first or the second time, I don't think you will like that. None of us will like that. We want doctors to be properly trained before they can operate on humans. Yeah? And this is one such way of training people and acquire skills. If you look at the scientific literature which is published, there's a lot of evidence in research to show that similar training, that it transfers to a better performance in an operating theater. There was a Cochrane review, which is again a very high quality review of the technology, and the recommendation was virtual reality training will lower the operating time and results in better performance in operating theater. The next few slides, I'll share some of my research experience, where I've been researching to acquire laparoscopy skills for novice, for junior doctors, to see how we can speed up the learning process using technology. This is a paper we published in 2014 in World Journal of Surgery, where we compared the performance learning laparoscopy skills in 3-dimension and 2-dimension, and we showed that using 3-dimension, you could speed up the learning process. Similarly, using 2D, 3D, and 4K, if you compare the performance is equally good and faster when we use higher definition images for learning. Now, 3D laparoscopy system is expensive and not readily available, but the skills can be readily acquired using a simple, cheap concept of open box training, where instead of looking at a monitor which is 3-dimensional, you look directly using a modified box simulator with your eyes, which gives you a 3-dimensional image. And research done using an open box training has shown that it is as effective as using an expensive 3-dimensional laparoscopy simulator. This is a research that we recently published with having carried out some of the work with our dean in UW, comparing how we acquire laparoscopic surgical skills, basic skills for novices using different models. The model that you see on the right, the white flat model, was developed by the American College of Surgeons for acquiring laparoscopy skills. It is still being used today in USA, and it's a mandatory training for all students and consultants. Yeah. When you look at that model and when you compare the other 3 models made out of Jenga, they were made by me. If you want to learn laparoscopic surgery, you want to improve your eye-hand coordination, depth perception in 3D, you can make out, just looking at the model, that the flat model is not a good model for acquiring such a skill. And with this research, we showed that by making better models, you can speed up the learning process. The performance time was lower, which means the learning and acquiring skill was much faster. Having said all this, there are a number of obstacles for implementing technology-enhanced education. There is a lack of coordinated effort by government, by universities, by regulators, to say the least. Cost being another factor, and availability and expertise in the field. However, it also offers opportunity. I told you a bit about the global demand and the need for fast-tracking education. There's increased pressure to improve patient outcome and provide safe hospital care. And rapid technology and scientific advancement means role of simulation in surgical training will only grow in future. I consider myself as an innovator in education, and this is a quote by Bilbo Baggins. You may be familiar with this. Lord of the Ring or the Hobbit. It said it's a dangerous thing going out of your front door. Once your feet start walking, you have no idea where they will lead you. And it led me to Göteborg in Bolivia from London. And I'm glad I landed here. Our goal is to create a culture My goal over here is to create a culture where technology-enhanced education is recognized as essential and is seamlessly integrated into the new hospital and the university education to fast-track training. It can start in Bolivia, why not? Thank you very much for inviting me.
Escuchábamos las palabras del doctor Vijendra Pratap Patel. Muchas gracias a usted por compartir con nosotros estos conocimientos y datos importantes para Bolivia. A continuación invitamos al al excelentísimo presidente de la Fundación Udabol, el doctor Martín Dockweiler, quien investirá al doctor Plamen Simeonov Rusev con el grado de doctor honoris causa. Un fuerte aplauso, por favor, al flamante doctor honoris causa, el doctor Plamen Simeonov Rusev. Lo invitamos a dar unas palabras de agradecimiento también y compartir con nosotros.
Honorable presidente de la Udabol, estimados miembros del Cuerpo Diplomático y Academia de Bolivia y el mundo, queridos invitados, es un privilegio estar aquí con ustedes el poder de la juventud de Bolivia y el futuro de Sudamérica. Gracias por honrarme con su presencia. Estoy profundamente agradecido. Muchas gracias. I would like to apologize the lack of more words in Spanish. So do you all understand me now? Please, those who understand me, raise your hands. Please, those who don't understand me, raise your hands. And what are the rest? I am truly honored to be here in this temple of knowledge of Bolivia and South America. Thank you, Dr. Rottweiler. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed, for bringing me here. Thank you, Dr. Rottweiler. It's normally the opposite. Somebody thanks me to be there. But here I am thankful that I'm part of this amazing gathering of bright minds who shape the future of this part of the world. And I'm so grateful to be able to tap into this amazing potential by making this trip to your wonderful country and wonderful place. Truly honored. I will share a life story with you, but beforehand, the president mentioned that I am a magic man. He is very, very, very generous to me. But I do believe in magic. I do believe in magic because only those that believe in magic see the magic. And for you to be sure that I believe in magic, it must be an amazing magic for the woman who is here now. Her name is Aniela. Aniela, please stand up. Please stand up. Now look at her and look at me. It must be a magic that she chosen me as her husband. How can I not believe in magic? So thank you for calling me a magician. Maybe I am if I've had the honor to be with this amazing woman. 25 years ago, I was maybe 23 years ago, I established my first technology company. It grew to a very substantial number of over 600 people. I exited it, and around that time, I was invited to speak at an event. It was in London. I went to the event, and then it turned out I'm the last speaker, which was okay. I had time to prepare my slides. But then I saw how the room is leaving. Speaker after speaker after speaker after speaker, and then when it was my turn on the stage, there was only one person in the room. And I turned to him and I said, "Thank you so much for staying in the room for my presentation." And he said, "It's okay, I'm the speaker after you." So I'm so grateful that we have the pleasure of your company. And after the amazing presentation by Dr. Patel, I decided to not use my slides, but to talk to you. I'm not here to teach you anything. You have amazing teachers in this temple of knowledge and academia. But I want to talk to you about the future. Dr. Dockweiler was very, very generous while presenting me here. I am honored to be executive chairman of Webbit Foundation. You can think of Webbit like a very small country of a little bit less than 1 million people. But those people are some of the brightest, of the bravest scientists, policymakers, academia. Those people are the people who change the world. So, I will start with a question for you. How many of you believe that your future is going to be bright, much brighter than the future of your parents? How many of you? Good. How many believe that your future is not going to be better than the future of your parents? And again, the rest are sleeping though. Okay? So it's a room full of positive people here. This is great. Let's start with the following. We at Webit bring together all around the world, in Europe, in India, in Dubai, in Singapore, those that believe that we live better lives and that we have and we will have a better future. We bring together ministers, prime ministers, the biggest investors in the world, people from 1 billion to 10 billion to more billions funds who they invest in startups run by people like you, young, motivated, who want to change the world. On the top of this, at every Webit, I give 200,000 euro award for the best startup, for the best idea. And at Webit, we have generated, hey, don't go, don't leave. At Webit, we make sure that we hear the voice of the future. So, I will share with you now the voice of the future for those who want to hear it. I will tell you the 10 predictions for the next 10 years. Or in other words, how your lives, our lives, will change in only 10 years' time. And I will speak very simple. Because you're students in medicine or others, I don't want to bombard you with terminology. I'm going to use very simple language. Because future should not be complicated. Only people who lack self-confidence are afraid of the future. There is nothing to be afraid of the future. I will start with a history lesson. You know that the humankind basically dates back, the history that we know, it dates back millions, but the history that we know dates back approximately 20,000 years, where we can speak with a certain percentage of being sure that's like this. So 20,000 years ago, the Homo sapiens, which we represent, used to have 4,000 calories per day. That's all the energy that the Homo sapiens was using, including to cook. So the fire measured in total was 4,000 energies per day. The contemporary Homo sapiens that we represent in 2018 is using 228,000 calories per day. This includes our car, this includes the electricity, this includes everything. Dear students and academia, we are gods if you compare us to our predecessors 20,000 years ago. We are like the mighty Zeus. We can send thunders and lightnings. We can fly even faster than Hermes, the god. You know, Hermes took him a couple of hours to go like 200 kilometers. We fly it for 30 minutes these days. We are the gods of today. Are we responsible? Are we behaving responsibly according to the supernatural, superhuman powers that we represent? This is what Webit is doing. we bring together the global leaders to talk about our responsibility of building trajectory of social abundance, creating a world where we are all treated with respect, living a life which is responsible life. Because with all the enhancement we did during the years, we still kill each other. We still kill the nature. And we still have people dying from hunger, which is ridiculous. We have more food than we can eat. And the only reason there is famine somewhere in the world is because some political leader is striving to keep up with the power and not letting people be happy. And I see here people, only for the past 9 years, I've heard that famine and poverty is radiculated at over 45%. And this is global statistics. And these are great news for Bolivia. And I'm sure the future is brighter because of you. Forget about politicians. It's you who matter. It's the people who make this world a better place. Doesn't matter what they do. Politicians, doctors, scientists, astronauts. It's all about the people. In the next 10 years, our life will change dramatically. I'm investing in companies all around the world. But I'm an investor who strives to make impact. Most of my investments don't go after the money now. They go after the impact for the humankind. I invest in different continents around the world. And the reason I'm doing it is because I believe we can make this world a better place together. And I have to do what I have to do if I can do it. I am also a member of the European Commission's Blockchain Observatory and Forum. I'm also a member of the European Commission's AI Alliance, which is the Artificial Alliance, which is Artificial Intelligence Alliance, which is hopefully the next amazing thing that we will see. For the first time in the human history, we are creating, like gods, something which might be better than us. It's the artificial intelligence. And in this respect, even though it will bring a lot of suffer, many people who are not educated, who are not prepared for the future, will become jobless. That's why the University of Life will never, ever be the same. That's why this amazing university is preparing you for what is going to happen in the future. Every day in the future you have to study. Every day will be different than the previous one. Artificial intelligence, even now, can write more code, programming. It writes 10,000 rows of code for a time that a normal person can write probably 10. It's that dramatic change. Where are we going to? Where are we heading to? Artificial intelligence, on the other hand, though, maybe will help us stop killing each other. Maybe will help us stop killing the nature, and maybe it will help us to become a better Homo sapiensis. Maybe, as a good friend of mine, professor, anthropologist, says, we will become Homo Deus, the God people. Maybe. Don't be in a hurry though. We're still Homo sapiens and we have to behave responsibly. So what are the next 10 years for the humankind and how we as Webbit community see them? First, I will start with the major changes in different areas. The first area, of course, is healthcare. How many of you think that healthcare is highly ineffective now? How many? Don't be afraid. Your president and everybody else will not do anything bad to you. Do you think that healthcare is effective now, Professor Ahmed? Do you think it's effective? How many of you think it's too bureaucratic? Good, good. Yeah, freedom of speech, that's important. And how many of you think that it's ridiculously expensive? No, it's cheap for you? Yeah, it's expensive, of course. It's bureaucratic, it's inefficient, and it's ridiculously expensive. And that's why amazing startups from all around the world now try to disrupt it. And they will disrupt it together with IBM and Watson, with Google, with Microsoft, and all the players that also I invest in. Healthcare has a number of areas where it will be disrupted. First, years ago, a friend of mine gave me a present. It was called genomic test. Do you know the genome test? How many of you know the genome test? Genomes. You don't know it. The genome test tests your DNA, your genomes, and can tell you who you are, where you come from, what are your predecessors, what is your exposure to illness, to sickness, to diseases, and many other things. When I got this present, these genome tests costed 4 million. This was a present of 4 million which I received. I received my body code. That's what genome test is. Everybody in the world years ago was telling genome test is impossible. It is so much data. Nobody can calculate that much data. Well, who could have thought that now I will be investing in a genomic company that is doing genome tests? And why genome testing is important? Imagine if all Bolivia, or let's say 100 to 200,000 Bolivians, have their genomes tested. What will happen is, with a small app on your mobile phone, you just scan the medicine that was prescribed for you. And then the app tells you, this medicine will not work for you. This medicine will not work for you. The government, if you have these genome tests in Bolivia, the government will say between 20 to 40% of all the money spent for medicine. And this is huge money. This is huge money. They will save it because you are not going to be prescribed medicine that is not going to be good for you, because you might have allergies, because it might not work well with your body. And it's not future, it's now, dear ladies and gentlemen. And I have one of these companies already and many others on the map. The same, everybody now says, there is no way you can map the brain. Yes, it's true. Still now, we only have a few parts of the brain maps. But it was the same with the genome. Once we are able to map the brain, we will be aware of all these reactions on chemical, biological level in our bodies, which will also explain subjective feelings like anger, love, hate. Because that's what happens. It's the electrons in your brain that send those impulses and create this subjective perception of reality. And you know what? There is only one real world. And there could be thousands, hundreds of thousands of virtual worlds. I can even tell you that you are not living in a real world now. If you look at I'm a mathematician. My education is mathematics and physics. My PhD is in digital solutions for managing social and health challenges. So as a mathematician, I'm telling you that the probability that this is the real world is only one. The probability that this is a virtual world is hundreds of thousands. And people like Elon Musk and others are now exploring this. Further in medicine, we will see amazing progress for one reason. And now I will try to do the magic here. I will push the technology team of the university almost to the maximum, because I will inquire kindly. But first somebody has to connect my computer to internet if possible. I would like to show you a bunch of real innovations that change the world. One of them is 3D printing. How many of you know about the biologically 3D printers? Those that print organs. How many of you know about it? No one? Okay. Then let me, okay, good. Now I will show you how with a printer we can print organs. And we already do the first tests with stem cells, which are creating that particular organs. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Am I connected? Wow. Everything in this university happens like magic. And then the president calls me a magician. He is the magician here. So I will let it run. This is a print of prosthetic. The prostate is printed with a material that, using electricity, acts like the real one. Imagine the implementation of this technology when we talk to transplants. Imagine how amazing it is one day, if you need a transplant, not to wait for somebody to die in order for you to live, but you just go there, print it. Just imagine. But you don't have to imagine, guys. It is reality. It is true now. And more than this. I will skip now the healthcare just for a second to show you how a printer that prints buildings looks like. You can print your house with a printer. They already printed. There is a whole city in China printed with printer. They live there. People live. One of the most beautiful buildings in Dubai is printed with a 3D printer. 3D printing is going to change. We imagine at the moment we are really in possession of creating a self-sufficient, oxidized cell with enough resources to reproduce. And we use it for printing. That's the beginning of the future opportunity to print most. Let's say we start now with the less complicated, ending up with one of the most complicated of our 78 organs. And this is how the printer works. Isn't it fascinating? And thank you. You can stop now the video and my laptop. I will ask you again to do the miracle in a while. Thank you. Are you enjoying? Is it interesting for you? Do you want me to go on? Because I promised this amazing academia here in the Temple of Science that I will not go long. So once you want to stop me, you raise your hands. Let me see. If you don't want me, raise your hands. No one? But you didn't raise your hand previously also, so I must be better than this. Okay. Let's talk about cancer just a little bit, because in front of Dr. Patel and Shafi Ahmed, I should not be speaking about this. But imagine the nanorobots. So small they can go literally each and every blood vessel and making a surgery with a precise of a micrometer. There is no such surgery in the world, with all my respect to all the human beings. Imagine how easily these will remove all the cells. And imagine that it will cost a couple of Bolivian. That's it. Because that's the real price. Healthcare is completely ineffective. It is so expensive. and it's so bureaucratic. And we all can, must, and will change it. And this will change the future of the humankind. At Webbit, we presented bionic arm. Do you know what is bionic arm? I will show you some pictures after. An arm which is a robotic arm, purely robotic. And this arm is only managed by the brain. There are no wires. The wires are your neurons. And I do this, I give 5 to this person, and we are friends, and Dr. Shafi, we are both. Dr. Shafi is not only honorable member of this beautiful family of Udabo, he's the chair of Webbit Health globally. So he's an amazing global leader, and I'm so honored to speak in front of him here. So this arm is already now. Very soon we'll be able to augment our bodies, giving ourselves arms, legs, which are better than the ones we have. He's stronger than me with this arm. I will show you. Who wants to see the picture? I will show you the picture afterwards, and I will show it now. I will find it on my computer. You will see it. So don't show it yet. I will be speaking in the meantime, and I want to show you these pictures. So you believe in my words, like I show you how we print organs already. And we have already, no, don't show it yet, please, don't show. We have already made tests. A good friend of mine called Professor Moran Surf, we were just together in Chicago with him. Moran is doing amazing things. He puts 2 electrodes in the head of the patient, and he connects them with 2 buttons in front of him, left and right. The game is to touch the button before it lit. This game is the game a human will never win, because he connects the electrodes at the exact place in the brain where it sends the information through the wires to these 2 buttons, and the button knows, because it knows what you think, knows which button you want to touch. So before you even go there with your hand, the button already is lit. Do you understand why? Because we are slower than the electrons that go through the wire. Unless we augment ourselves, we cannot get better. That's the best of us. Now we need technology, and we will have the technology that will make us a better human beings in the future. Here, of course, we have to talk about ethics, but that's not now. We'll talk some other time. Now, I will try to find some pictures to show you from this particular person, because he's truly, truly amazing. And you will see how a hand of his looks like. Can you please show me now the screen? Thank you so much. Do you see the hand? Do you believe in miracles? Sí. Sí. Let me hear you. How is in Spanish, I believe in miracles? Yo? Say it. Teach me, I don't hear you. Yo soy. This is the miracle. A good friend of ours, with his hand. He was amputee. He didn't have a hand. He thought his life is finished. Look at him now. By the way, his hand is magical. I don't have the video, but it's better than our hand because it goes like this. He can shake your hand and kick it and break your hand if he wants. He's that strong. It's amazing. That's the augmentation of the humankind that we are seeing. And I will stop with healthcare because you might think that Webbit is only about healthcare. Webbit is about the future, dear friends. Please stop the screen now. I will continue further, and I will be showing you many other things. But in the meantime, I will go very briefly through virtual reality. Again, in front of Professor Ahmed. I should not be speaking too much about it. I'm sure he will mention a lot about it later after me. And hopefully we'll still stay here, because it will be the same joke with me that I started with, that nobody's in the room. So I will try to keep you up. Virtual reality is basically creating the world that most probably will be the future world. Even now, in all the Navy, in the armies around the world, especially American Army, unfortunately, but they sent a thing called Predator and Parrots now in Syria and everywhere. It's completely virtual. There are these guys who sit somewhere in America with their glasses and they kill people there. They think they're playing a video game. Yes, dear friends. Currently, killing people became a video game in our world. They sit with their glasses, virtual reality glasses, they see everything like it's real, and they kill the people. And it's happening now. Well, I hope that virtual reality in the future will help people live a better life. Now virtual reality already helps people with mental diseases to overcome such. And it goes on and on. And Professor Ahmed is training hundreds of thousands of students around the world, and you must be so honored to have him here in this university, also being part of the training curriculum in Bolivia. And I will stop here with virtual reality. I will mention briefly the next one, hyperconnectivity. In 2026, another 5 billion connected people will be on that planet Earth. 5 billion in 10 years. And guess what? Less than 10 years. And no, don't show it. Don't show it, please. Keep it. Okay. In 2000, the number of internet users was barely 740 million. 740. In 3 years ago, 15, was 3.2. This year is 4 billion connected. It's phenomenal. Imagine all these 8 billion people getting connected, starting this new economy, Amazon, Alibaba. Everything flows. All this information happens now, immediately. Imagine that. This will change the world forever. And then being interconnected means also the following. There are already tests that make sure that mice consciousness can be transferred into a disk and then transferred back. Imagine that interconnectivity. And it's happening now again. This is happening now. There is a very interesting test that a mouse was given the opportunity to push a pedal which stimulates its head and releases endorphin. And on the other side of the mice, there is food. So the mice was given a choice to push the pedal for the endorphin or to eat. Do you know what happened? The mice died. Pushing the pedal of the endorphin, the endless happiness. But obviously, that happy mice never made it to the future. Too much happiness and no food doesn't work with the people. We are about to explore who we are and to understand where we are going. And maybe then we will behave more responsibly like gods. And then briefly, some more statistics about the next 10 things. Knowledge about the world around us. In 10 years' time, there will be 100 billion connected devices, sensors. Now, the whole East Singapore is built in a 3D world. There are sensors everywhere. They know how fast the grass grows. They know if there is water there, if it's raining, if the humidity is high or low. They know how many people pass here and there. They know everything. They know if the people are smiling or not smiling. And they know exactly who is passing at that moment at this place. Is it good or bad? I don't comment, but they do it now. It's not the future. In the future, there will be 100 billion connected devices. You all have one. How many of you have a smartphone? How many? Only these? The rest don't have smartphones? So every smartphone has at least 2 to 3 sensors. Camera, speed, height sensor, voice sensor, humidity sensor maybe. I have a watch that takes control of how much oxygen I have in my blood, VO2, VO-max. I have a watch that tells me how stressed was I during the day, who stressed me, etc., etc. All these connected devices are going to make this world a super connected place. You will know at that very second, if you want, what is happening in Sahara. Is there wind? It might be interesting for you to know, maybe, I don't know, but you will know everything. This hyper-connected world will become a small, even smaller village. Transport. A friend of mine 3 days ago announced, and now I will ask to have again, the last time, gentlemen, my screen big. These are two friends of ours with Shafi. Their name are Dirk Alburn and Bibo Geshe. They've created a thing called Hyperloop. Hyperloop is, I will let it go and hopefully they will see it. It was, as you see, I use only current data. Don't worry if you cannot play it, but it will be great to have it. Once it's there, I will show it to you. So this thing is a capsule that travels with the speed of 1,250 kilometers per hour. 1,250 kilometers per hour. This means that from here to La Paz, you go in like, what, 20 minutes? You get in there, and you are there. It's almost like teleporting, but it's not. It is the thing that I'm going to show you. So, hopefully. So, they've just announced it on 2nd of October, 2018. It is there. This new super fast transportation is here. Increasing the transportation speed will increase our connectivity. It will no longer be a miracle people from Europe to be here every minute and working together with scientists like, so there we go. I just want to show it to you first. So these are our friends. This is Dirk and Bibo Geshe. They've presented, this is the Hyperloop project. I'm sorry that the quality of my computer, it doesn't give you the right, so that's how it's called, the Hyperloop. This was the brainchild of a scientist 100 years ago. But then Elon Musk took it as a concept, and then two different companies started growing. So this is how you will be transported your still mortal bodies from places around the world. And this is real. It's been presented 3 days ago. And you here in Bolivia know it. And that's the magic of information. And that's the magic of this temple of science and knowledge. Thank you so much. Just please remove again my screen for the last time I ask for this. I'm not going to bother you because I'm about to conclude. I'll be very brief for the next few disruptive technologies. One is blockchain. Blockchain is the future of decentralized economy. It's the future of the humankind. You can quote me everywhere because I speak everywhere around the world at all international forums, and I say one and the same thing. With all technological advancement that I as investor in our community have achieved until now during all these years, we have done nothing more than we all as humans have paid with one currency: our privacy. Everything has been paid with our privacy. And I don't want my kids to be prisoners of their own private data. You here in Bolivia are still very free. Much freer than us in Europe. And much freer than the Chinese, who already play the social game of how important are they, and then they get points from the government. And if they don't get enough points, they are not even allowed to travel. This is where technology is now in China. Everything you do, the government knows because it follows you through your mobile phone. You have to check, I did this, I went there, I did. You check, they know you, everything. And then algorithms calculate how important you are and if you have the right to move or not. Blockchain is the future hope for the humankind, to decentralize and to help us be freer. That's why I have joined the governmental, the European Commission in Europe, which is the highest authority. It's like the presidency in here, where we discuss the future of Europe and hopefully the better future of the world. Artificial intelligence, I've already told you what I think about it. And just for your information, I'm guessing you know, in 1996, IBM Blue won over Kasparov on chess. And then 2 years ago, the Google won over a game that everybody was telling that nobody can win, only humans, because they have intuition. It's the Go game. And machine won over the Go game. So obviously machines are becoming better and better. Food. There is more food than we can eat now. The problem is how we distribute it and how to make sure that political leaders don't take this card to make people believe in the famine or whatever. So it's not about gods anymore. It's not God send me water. There are irrigation systems everywhere. God, don't send me snow. Well, there are rockets that change. This is already past. Now we're talking about vertical farming. And we're talking about something even more. There is a company that I'm investing now and I've already worked with for the past 2 years and did some initial. And they are changing the way we produce chemicals. But this is a very, very long topic. And the last but not least, happiness. There is no other reason for me to be here but my personal pursuit for happiness. I'm only happy when I can improve my own life, the life of my family, the life of my communities, the life of the people on this planet Earth. And I accepted this kind invitation by Professor Ahmed and Dr. Dogweiler to be here because I believe we can impact positively Bolivia and South America with WebIT, with all global communities that I'm part of, by motivating, inspiring people like you, by bringing global leaders to Bolivia, so Bolivia gets on the global map. Global media start mentioning the bright and wonderful people here in this room, so you can have a better future, so you can impact better future for your kids and for the people on this planet. With all my respect to you, I thank you for being the better future of the humankind. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias a usted, doctor, por la presentación, por hablar de esto que se viene muy pronto junto a la universidad de aquí en Bolivia, el futuro y la tecnología que llega en medicina. Invitamos también al invitado especial a hacer uso de la palabra, a dirigirse al auditorio y compartir con nosotros, doctor Shafi Ahmed.
I'll demonstrate 2 minutes. Ah. Is it working? Is it projecting? Okay. It's a long night. Stand up. Sit down. That's better, yes? It's tiring, long day. Thank you very much for allowing me to come and speak again. Martin, as always, my brother, my friend, and the entire faculty here. I really enjoyed both Bijendra's and Plaman's talk. Really inspirational work they're doing. Now, I'm here, obviously, with Martin to help the university to become better, to improve the standards with help and support, and also to build the hospital of the future. Now, I often wear these kind of instruments, these kind of head devices that will allow us to change the world we live in. Do I look stupid? Maybe. Okay. So you can't see, I can see here in front of me a big screen on here. So what I'll show, let me just in front of you show how it works.
So I'm now going to a document here. Thrive. Let's just open the software. I'll place, if I'm going to come right here into the crowd and just place it here. There we are. There's my screen. It's opening. I'm looking around. You can see. Okay. So what we're going to do now, imagine you're a doctor and you want to connect with someone in another part of the world because we're connected, as Plamen said. Smartphones, billions of people. We're now going to look as it opens up. Let's go back a fraction here. And hopefully we'll be able to see the Thrive. Let's go around here. It's a bit slow on that side. Okay, let's do it again. Let's open. Yeah, try to open that software for me. Here we go. And in a second, I'll be playing with scans and things. I'll show you in a moment. If I can find out what they are. Here we go. Here you can see a menu right in the crowd. If I go to Files and then show what I'll do, I'm going to lift these files in front of me. I'll look at the heart, the lungs, the bones, the body. Now they're over here. I can grab the lungs and bring it all the way over here to you. I can take the bones. Now it's the middle of the crowd. I can go to this object. I can walk around in my screen. I can take it, move it with me, and take it maybe to you. So you now could have one of these on in Bolivia. I could be in London. We could share the same images and be taught together, right? I can take it all the way to those people leaving over there. I could then go back to my file. Here we go. We'll go to Draw. We have now color. Now what I'm going to do is come with that color and draw a line. You see? And point to something in 3D space. So imagine that in the future. Medicine will change. We can talk to one another by connecting in augmented and virtual reality. This is the new way of teaching. This is the new way of learning surgery. I am a surgeon. And for us, it's really about sharing skills across the world. This is a university, and Martin eloquently talked about the fountain of knowledge. My conversation with you is about sharing knowledge. All of us in this room are teachers, are students. We all are excited about sharing what we have learnt for many years. I've been a surgeon for 25 years now, getting knowledge. And what I want to leave as a legacy is that knowledge to be transferred to as many people as possible. Often, we sit in a classroom. In the classroom, we teach 10, 20, 30 people, maybe. We sometimes do a seminar online. What about if you could share the information using virtual reality, augmented reality, or artificial intelligence to a big, broader scheme? I did my first operation using these devices. The first operation using Google Glass was watched by 14,000 people in 118 countries. I was teaching many people. The second operation I did was using virtual reality, where people would put the headset on, they'd be next to me learning. On that day, guess how many people I taught? 55,000 people in 140 countries. The third operation I did was use social media, using Snapchat. Do you have Snapchat? Young? Okay. So Snapchat, the spectacles, the glasses, I used that to teach people on a social media platform. Guess how many people I taught using Snapchat? 2 million people. Just one surgery, sharing knowledge on a grand scale. I'll show you this. Let's pop in here. Now, you can all play with this, hopefully, if I get it out. 1 second. Okay, I'll find it is. Let me see if I can find it for you. 1 second. I need to show you something. He says, look into his pockets for this thing. Here we are. This thing here. What do you think? Antonio, there we are. What do you think this? What is it? Huh? What do you think this is? Our device people behind. This is a scalpel blade, yes? This is to cut. You put the blade on. Feel it. Have a feel. Feels good? Okay. Guess where this was made? Have a guess. What do you think? Where was this made? UK? Bolivia? This was made on the International Space Station. A 3D printed material. 2 years ago, they put their 3D printer into the space station. Okay? What happened? One of the astronauts broke his finger. He couldn't work. Because they had a 3D printer, NASA sent a PDF file to space. Simple PDF file. He printed a splint for himself. He put it on, carried on working. Isn't that amazing? So this is not from this world. But yet this is the way we're going to democratize healthcare. And in our hospital, SAMD, University Hospital, we're going to have these things. We're going to think about the future technologies. Virtual reality to teach our medical students. Artificial intelligence to teach people in a different way. The first point of contact in the next 5 years will not be a human being. Your first point of contact as a doctor will be a chatbot on your smartphone. It'll be an avatar. It'll be a virtual human being with intelligence. We're going to put these into the healthcare system, into our hospital. We're going to have a comprehensive electronic health record with big data so we can connect and find information about people. This will allow us to make healthcare more efficient and more affordable. We're going to use 3D printed devices. If you break an arm in our hospital, we 3D print your plaster to save money. So we're going to put all of these technologies in because Martin is a futurist. The whole team, Claudia, Vittoria, Julio, and Marcelo, these people are real futurists. People ask me, why have I come to Bolivia to help? It's because of these people who are inspiring, who understand that we have to change healthcare for the future, who are prepared to work really hard to make Bolivia the center and capital of innovation. Next year, I'm setting up a course in the university called Udebol X. This would teach our medical students innovation, entrepreneurship. There will be new thinkers. They'll be taught how to design apps, code, develop. They'll be given the opportunity to work with computer scientists, engineers, to be able to allow their ideas to flourish and to go to market. The future healthcare needs different people who can think in different ways. So when people say to me, why am I coming here? It's the opportunity It's a fantastic country with wonderful human beings, the warmth, and I've been so privileged to be here and be part of a bigger family. So with that in mind, we're really excited, all of us working together to help Bolivia become the center of health of the future. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm giving this one to Martin so he can practice surgery. Ah. No, sure. I get another one.
Invitamos ahora al doctor Antonio Yelpi, presidente de la Fundación Global de África Latina, para entregar reconocimientos a los doctores honoris causa de esta noche. El doctor Vijendra Pratap Patel y el doctor Plamen Simeonov Rusev. También al doctor Shafi Ahmed. Pasen adelante, por favor.
Shafik, por favor recibe este reconocimiento, es muy sencillo de parte de la Fundación, y quisiera agradecer al doctor Martín Dosweiler, quien nos da esta posibilidad, y decir al señor rector, a la vicerrectora, que de parte de la Fundación queremos invitar a Udabol que nos acompañe en África, que nos acompañe en Marruecos, en Ruanda y en Congo, donde estamos trabajando. Lo que ustedes están haciendo, doctor, es importantísimo que se sepa en el mundo. Y lo voy a decir como amigo, como hermano. ¡Que viva Bolivia! Gracias.
Aprovechando la presencia de los doctores aquí enfrente de la testera, también invitamos al excelentísimo presidente de la Fundación Udabol, el doctor Martín Dosweiler, y a todos los asistentes de la testera a pasar al frente para tomar la fotografía oficial de esta noche. Hoy es una noche importante, es una noche especial para Bolivia, una noche especial también para la Universidad de Aquino, Bolivia. Una sesión académica extraordinaria de investidura doctor honoris causa a 2 doctores reconocidos en su área, innovando en la tecnología que llega a Bolivia muy pronto, gracias al doctor Martín Dosweiler y al doctor Shafi Ahmed. La Universidad de Aquino Bolivia de esta forma da por concluido este solemne acto y agradece a todos los presentes por su asistencia al mismo. Muchas gracias. Que tengan una excelente jornada.